Alright, hey guys, so this is my second video about living with cystic fibrosis. The first one that I posted was almost a year ago. I've been really slacking, obviously. I've tried to film since then, and like the video quality on my iPhone sucks. Like, who wants to stare at a video for 10 minutes when it's all pixely? No one. Also, I've been having a lot of trouble uploading them to YouTube. It's like not working for me. I don't know why. I'm not that great with technology, so that's probably why. But anyway, hopefully this one works. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So, my first video, to sum that up, was about how I was going to start filming videos about living with the genetic disease, cystic fibrosis. I said that I was going to film like as much as I could just to spread awareness and knowledge about the disease, because it's rare and still like a lot of people don't know a lot about it or have never heard of it, which is strange to me, or they have heard of it and they have no idea what it is. So I'm here to give you the answers. About me, I am 24, almost 24 years old. My birthday's next month for all of my friends. Please remember. But anyway, so I'm almost 24 years old. I got diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when I was an infant. After that, my family got very educated, so I had a great support system. I was raised really healthy, really well. And then I was never like really sick. I was always like really active as a kid. I was involved with like cheerleading, and I ran around everywhere. Like, I was like a normal little kid. I never really lived thinking that I was sick. I knew I had a disease, but it never really affected me. Until I was about 13 years old, I was diagnosed with MRSA. In my lungs. So that was really scary. Of course, like, I didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. I just knew that I was really sick and that I had to go to the hospital. Then is when I lived in Maryland, so I went to Johns Hopkins, and they're really incredible. They took really good care of me. Awesome hospital. They've done a lot of research for cystic fibrosis, so I have nothing but good things to say about them. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with MRSA, but it's a staph-resistant, oh my gosh, am I saying this right? Oh my gosh, I know what it is. It's like your body is resistant to any antibiotic, and basically doctors just have to pump you full of them until one works. And, you know, having that at such a young age and in the lungs is very scary. So I was sick for a while. I got better and went back to, like, things slowly went back to normal. Really healthy all throughout high school, except in high school, since I was so healthy, I like to do high school things, and I partied a lot. I did a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to. And when I was about 17, 18 is when it kind of all caught up with me. And I started getting sick. I'm still very healthy. I consider myself I have a mild to moderate case of the disease, which it varies. One person is not like the other, like many diseases. There's different strains of the disease, and I am the double delta F08. So that's a very common type of the disease. They're still working on a pill getting approved by the FDA. So hopefully that'll come out in the next 2 years. But anyway, so when I was, like I said, 17 or 18 is when I'm going to get comfortable. When I started getting sick, and what happens when I get sick is I develop lung infections. Whenever that happens, I'm given usually a round of oral antibiotics, something really strong like Cipro, which is used to cure anthrax. It's like super powerful. And if that doesn't work, then I'm given IV antibiotics. Until a little over a year ago, what happened was they would put a PICC line in my arm, which is this like tube that they would fish through my vein. Doesn't sound very fun at all. And into my heart. And it's not a very comfortable procedure whatsoever. I really hated it, actually. But I would have this tube in my arm, in my body, for like 2 or 3 weeks, depending on however long I was on IV antibiotics for. And then I could go home with it and pump myself full of drugs every like 7 hours or so. I would get those probably like twice a year, so I was still only getting sick a couple times a year, which is really great for someone with cystic fibrosis. My lung function was still pretty good. It still is very good. Not great for me, but it's very good with someone that has cystic fibrosis. So, like I said, I don't get the PICC lines anymore, unfortunately. I don't know if you can see, probably not, but I have a lot of scarring on this side of my arm because I've had so many PICC lines, so there really isn't any access there anymore at all. A lot of, like, my veins are shot, basically. On this arm, my veins are way too small for anything to be able to be fished in there. So, the only other option was for me to get a portacath. I got this in January of 2013. A lot of people with cancer get them just because they're poked and prodded so much. It's just way easier, and it has been a lot easier for me, although it's still not my favorite thing to look at. After getting this, I honestly felt like I had a boob job. I obviously don't know what one feels like, but the amount of pressure that I felt, it's just something like a foreign object going into your body. Like, it just hurts. I woke up so sore. I couldn't put any pressure on my arms. I was sore for like a few weeks. It really sucked. It wasn't great at all. Also, it just hurt, and there's a huge, I'll try and get close. There's like a really big scar there, and what you can't, right here, I guess that's the only lighting you're going to be able to see this. There's a tube that runs through into my vein. So, there's 3 points on the port. The middle of them is where you would stick the needle in to get accessed. You can do fluids, medicine, whatever, pump yourself with anything. I can actually access this myself, but I choose not to because I physically cannot stick a needle in my body. It makes me sick. So I have my nurse do it for me, or a friend or something. I just can't do it myself. And I pump IV antibiotics in my system every few hours. So as of right now, currently I have a lung infection. It is, Tuesday? Last Friday, I took myself to the emergency room just because I know my body and I did not feel good. I knew something was wrong. So my symptoms were lethargic. I was so tired. I was so weak. I'm a nanny, and I couldn't even hold the kids that I take care of because I was just ugh. Shortness of breath. I have an inhaler of albuterol, and I had to constantly puff on it. I'm getting out of breath filming this video. It's not good. And just the color of the mucus changes. If it's not clear, it's not good. So that's why I went to the emergency room. They gave me oral antibiotics, and that's what I'll start out with for 12 days. Hopefully those work, and hopefully I won't have to get IV antibiotics. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that one too. So having the port has been such a weird experience, especially for, I think, a female point of view. I don't know how men think about it, But this area is so feminine anyway that when I got it, I really felt like my femininity was like taken away from me. It might sound ridiculous to you guys, but it makes total sense to me. Just having like this weird thing. Like, it's weird. It sticks out. It took me a very long time to get used to it. I'm still getting used to it. I just didn't feel pretty at all. And after a while, with, you know, like my friends' help, all the support that I had telling me like, oh, you're beautiful, blah, 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 I really felt better about it. And there were some times where I would like show it off. I remember I was actually wearing this shirt one night at a bar, and this guy was so rude, and he was like, what is that? And I'm like, you don't just ask people that. Like, were you raised in a barn? Like, you don't, when something is not quote unquote normal on something else, yeah, you're gonna wonder what it is, but you don't just go up to them and ask. But he was drunk, so whatever. So, yeah, and people thought it was, like, all these weird things. Like, just ridiculous things. I was like, you must be an idiot. Sorry. I'm kind of being a hater. But I was just really surprised by all the comments that I got about it from really ignorant people. But anyway, so, yeah, it's been a process. It's taken a lot to get used to it. I still, like I said, I'm weird about it. But I do show it off because I don't care. I love it. It's part of me. I can have it up to 8 years. I hope I don't have it that long. But yeah, so I just have to embrace it now. So yeah, and it's easy. It really does help with getting IV antibiotics. So it is a blessing, but I really just don't like it. But anyway, that's all I'm really going to say for now, for this video, just because I wanted to catch you guys up and tell you that I still am going to do these videos, and to tell you that I do have a lung infection right now. We'll see how it goes. I'm supposed to go to Florida to visit my mom this weekend, so hopefully I'll get better before then, and I'll be able to have a good time. So I will film again soon. I promise. It won't be another year. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all the support and love. Thank you. Mwah.